Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about Noblesse episode 7. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. Obviously, it's the element of just coming to the school and, M21, Takeo, and Tao getting all the attention. And then Rai showing up and getting all the attention. And just for Yusuke, it's like, they're getting all the attention, and it's like no matter what he does, he just gets the guys. That's all he hangs around is guys, and it's just like, it's like, how does he get popular with the ladies? And obviously Manabu helping him out with that. I love that whole situation. Even Rai being like, yeah, I'll help you, because I love them being at lunch, and it's like, who do you like? Are you into Sarah or something? He's like, and kind of blushing about it. But I love them eating, and it's like, Rai, do you have any? And then Rai's like, well, and then some ladies nearby pass out, and you're like, and it's just like, I don't want any advice from him. It's just like, because it's like, it's not like Rai can help, because it's like, anything he does, it's just like, everyone's spawning and fainting, and then all these questions about oh my god, Takeo, Tao, oh, you deal with computer stuff? He's like, yeah, it's a bit nerdy. You're like, no. And it's like, M21's like, you were gone for a while. He's like, yeah, I was kind of they're like, yeah, you're a security guard and everything. It's no surprise you got hurt, but you need to take better care of yourself. So I love literally roping everyone into this whole shenanigan. It's like, okay, so what do you need our help for? Whatever it is, we'll help you out. And the moment Manabu is like, it's about love, and Tao's like, love. He's like, love, and then they both make excuses about trying to run, and I love that. Manabu stops them, and then M21's trying to leave, but Yusuke is stopping him. And what I love the most about it is literally Rai's just in the background. He says a couple words throughout the whole shenanigan, but it's just he's just there for the ride, just the hangout. It's like he wants to help whatever way he can, but it's mainly just him being quiet in the background. And just Takeo giving him the advice of kind of saying, hey, and it's and then Yusuke repeating everything he's saying, and then it's do you want to go into and he's like, I can't do this, and it's what happened to that suave person that you were before? But for him it was all a front. And then he gives Yusuke the death stare, and I'm like, that was meant to conceal the assassin beneath or something like that. I was like, because that was something I wasn't clear about. I was like, had their memories already been wiped, or rather, as they kind of say later rewritten? But it's no, because it was because the context of everything, it sounded like they still knew a lot of what went down, the particulars and everything. So it's they remembered everything at this point. So. And I love that they rope Regis into it as well. Obviously for him, it's I don't, me and Sarah don't talk about that stuff. We're only together all the time because we walk a very similar path. Only reason why I'm out front is because I walk at a faster speed than Sarah. Is kind of it. Which I think that kind of speaks a lot of volumes. Just that's very reflective of their personalities. How Regis is very stubborn and just steamrolls ahead, where Sarah kind of takes her time, kind of goes at her own pace. I think that just kind of speaks volumes about just their personalities in general. And so I love Regis kind of doesn't want any interest in doing it, but then M21's oh, look at him. You don't want any love advice from him or something like that. And it's just and it turns into an issue. They start beefing about this. It's just every conversation with each other turns into a confrontation. And I love that it gets settled with Rai being Regis, assist him. And it's and he bows down, he's like, yes. And just everyone's that was super simple. Now it's writing a letter. Yusuke starts it with sup. It's what are you, a child? Why would you start it with sup? And just he's hey, it's Yusuke. It's what? No, this isn't a phone call either. And I love Takeo being I want your heart to be mine. And just Tao's honestly, coming from you, that sounds more like a death threat. It's just oh, Takeo is giving his best, and it's just not coming out right. It's just, like I said, it's so much fun, and just Yusuke getting so frustrated, throws the note, and just once again, just the little things of seeing Rai smile at it, So you can only assume he's the one that put it on Sarah's desk, because it's right, once again, always in the background, not saying much, but helping out the most, interestingly enough. Especially when it turns into a thing of right, why don't I show her how athletic I am, how awesome I am, gotta show off a little bit. So it's right, we're gonna play this basketball game, and then we're gonna make Yusuke look super good. Then you have Rai getting the ball, and he like takes a couple steps forward. It's like, what's this menacing aura? And it's like traveling. It's like, because Rai doesn't know the rules to everything. I love the whole bit. Like, the fact is M21 and Regis got too into it, so it just came into it like a whole them taking the ball, because Regis is like, nah. I love like Manabu being like, the ankle breaker that he used against Tao, but it's like they turned this into too much of a competitive thing, and it's like, right, you guys are too focused on that. Like, Manabu's like, Yusuke, get in there and get it done, and he's just he knocks the ball away, and it goes flying to Rai, and it's like, oh my god, Rai's got it again. He's like, pass it to, and it's so dramatic. He's like, Rai, pass it to, and Rai does, and it slips past it, like, I think it was M21's hands, and went straight to Yusuke. He's like, I won't let this go to waste. He does his thing. I'm like, the timer is about to hit. It's like, he's got this badass moment, and then Takeo comes up, snatches it, shoots it from the other side of the court, and makes it, and it's just like, yes. And then just like Yusuke's just buried down deep, and it's like, you guys literally all failed at this. The only people who were still on Yusuke's side the entire time were Rai, Manabu, and Tao. They never lost focus. Everyone else got too hyped in the game to like pay attention. It's so good. I love it. And just Yusuke was just so defeated after everything. But Manabu was there to kind of cheer him up. But, for Yusuke, it's like, right, maybe we do live in so completely different worlds that maybe this was never going to work out. But then, Regis is there, it's like, right, we're going to the director's house. Sarah ends up talking to him. It's like, it's only natural to, like, have feelings for someone. But, like, the fact is that you shouldn't, like, it's pointless to basically rely on other people to convey your feelings. Like, if you're feeling something, just be straight up about it, And it's like, it's okay, to feel what you feel. And so all you have to do is, like, the most natural thing to do is just be yourself. And he's like, right, I'm up here getting so caught up in my own head about all this. But it's like, right, I just got to be me. And Sarah smiles at him. It's like, let's go to the director's house, But sadly, it shifts into the very serious conversation of, right, but if we're, like, the reason they're here is, like, right, we're going to have to erase your memories. Because that was kind of a conversation where, like, Frankenstein, I think, had... was thinking about that earlier about, I actually skipped over. I should also point out they went to Frankenstein for help, and he was like, yes, like, basically, it's like, he, paraphrasing here, but he was like, basically, the women were all over me, like, woe is me for what I had to deal with, like, it's like, it's like, I had to deal with stuff when I was your age when it came to women. It just kind of like, it's just kind of almost like the Rai situation, and I love that, like, Rai just sips his cup, and then, like, Frankenstein is like, sorry, I guess I wasn't helping like I was supposed to, master, sorry. It's kind of that vibe. But it's a talk of, right, we need to wipe your memories because it's too dangerous for you guys to remember what you remember. I mean, it's not erasing your memories, we're just rewriting around a lot of the stuff. And we're going to keep your core memories, like, true to what they were, but we don't want to, like, you guys to remember, which for them, it's like, but you're just going to erase our memories and stuff like that. Like, but it's like, right, it's the only way to keep you safe, because Regis is like, their people haven't announced, they, like, humans don't know that we exist, and we've made sure to make that a whole point. Plus, M21's like, the organization will literally erase people. I mean, that's why they were in danger of being killed in the first place, is because you're too much in the know about potentially what, the union and stuff. So, at the very least, it will mitigate this issue. And, it comes down to Rai. It's like, are you okay with this? And he's like, he is. Because it's like, none of us here did what we did. No one here helped you because they wanted you to remember it. They did it because that's what they wished to do. So even if you don't remember it, it's fine. Like, because it's like, but we want to be able to remember the people who saved our lives. But it's like, right, we didn't save your life so you remember, and kind of like, no. Like, we did it because we all wish to, And at the end of the day, Yusuke, you're still going to be you. Because, Yusuke is like, right, the memory might be gone, but the feeling is still going to be there, that we're going to be friends. And it's like, yeah, you're still going to be you, Yusuke. And he's like, okay. And so Rai erases changes their memories. And so it's hard to say, like, what, like, because I think this might have been, like, I mean, maybe this was directly out of the manhwa, like the whole love story thing. I don't know. Like I said, at the beginning of each arc, you usually get into, like, the shenanigans at the school. But this feels like it could have been, like, a filler episode, maybe. Like, it's like an anime-specific episode, but I could be mistaken. But it was still, once again, it was fun, lighthearted, just just a lot of fun in that regard. But also, it's just, I think, because last time, like, it was just kind of immediate, like, oh, like, when they came back to school, their memories were already wiped. I like them having, like, kind of like that final day of, like, knowing everything, and it just made it, it's like, but, and that shows, even, like, knowing everything, it doesn't change anything. When they came to school, they were like, he was like, oh, guys, like, but, like, Manabu didn't refer to him, Tao, as, Aniki, so I don't know, like, how much of that got warped too, but I think the whole point is, like, probably a lot of that, like, so a lot of their interactions and meetings were kind of probably warped and stuff like that, like, maybe it's altered their memory, so they only knew them specifically from working at school, not the, individual, like, I don't know, we'll see going forward whether or not, because, like I said, he didn't go like, oh, hey guys, hi Aniki, like, but it, could have just been, like, a lot of their core memories are somewhat intact, just like the more dangerous stuff and like who they are and what they're capable of, not just being normal humans. That's been wiped. But obviously they walk past like Sarah and Regis, so, but it's just kind of like, hey Rai, and Rai's just like, good morning. It was just, it's a little sad, but at the same time it's still there. Like, you might not remember everything, but it's okay. Like, we didn't do it for you to remember that. It's just, you're people we care about and we want to keep you safe. So like I said, it's a fun episode, but it does have that bittersweet ending to it. And then at the very end, we have, the setup for our next arc where Regis and Sarah haven't really, like, contacted since, like, they met a noble. That was all they sent back, and they haven't contacted since then, because I guess they're respecting Rai's wishes of just kind of keeping it low-key, but even Frankenstein and him know, like, it's not going to stay like this forever. Granted, Rai was too focused on, like, the new flavors of ramen, it's okay to change things up, new flavors and stuff like that, but Frankenstein in particular is kind of worried about things not being the same, especially now that Sarah and Regis know. But once again, they haven't said anything beyond the whole finding a noble thing. So, a noble was sent to investigate and find out, like, what they're up to and what they found out about the whole coffin situation. So we're kind of, once again, like, this school life stuff is usually the opening act to, like, starting the next arc. But once again, I just don't know if I'm remembering that correctly. I'm going to be saying that a lot. It's going to come off super annoying. I do apologize, but it's like, it's not even like I'm recording these all on the same day. Like, this has been done over the course of 3 days. Like, I did the first 4 on, like, one day, and then, like, yesterday I did 2, and now, I mean, who knows how many I'm going to be able to squeeze in today at the time of recording is just because I'm squeezing these in, like, whenever I get free opportunity to watch and review these. But I'm excited to see this next arc, because this is where stuff, like, really starts kicking up too in many different regards. So I'm excited for this to see this next arc animated. So very excited. But other than that, really, I don't have much else I want to talk about. But till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day, and goodbye.